Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a zip code rule or postal code rule for your brokerage in order to make sure that leads are going to the correct agent based on the FSA. So to start, we're going to log into our Launchpad account using our username and password. So you're going to first go to launchpad.remax.com and then just click on username and enter your username. Click on password and enter your password, and then press sign in. Once in Launchpad, we're going to go ahead and click on FiveStreet to access our FiveStreet account. And if you have multiple locations, you're going to choose the location that you want to set up the zip code rule for. Again, if you want to set up zip code rules for each of your locations, you will have to go into each single different account to set that up individually. Once in FiveStreet, what we're going to do is go over to the forwarding tab. This is where all the rules are located. So yours may look a little different depending on how you have yours set up, but what's important to note is that out of these three rules, so you have the source rule, the zip code rule, and the price rule, only one of those three can be turned on at the same time. So as I mentioned today, we're going to be talking about the zip code rule. This rule comes in handy if you are wanting to set up a team of agents to receive leads from a particular FSA. So this first step in actually doing this is creating a team for those individuals. So just for a minute, we're going to go back up to the top and click on the Teams page here. Now again, as a default, you should have My Team, which will contain every single agent within your office that's receiving leads. So what you're going to do is go ahead and create a secondary team. So you're going to click on Add a New Team right here, and you're going to give the team a name. So it's a lot more convenient, especially if you're doing multiple teams that want to have different FSAs, to just call it the name of the FSA. So as an example, we're going to call this team L5M. And we can even call it L5M team and click on save. Now the next step is to start adding people. So as an example, let's just say that I had 3 agents in my office that want leads to come to them from L5M, but nobody else in the office wants that zip code. So the first thing I'm going to do is add those 3 agents. So we're going to add, I'll just add myself as an example, and we'll add one other person just for the example. So I have 2 people in this team now. You could add as many as you'd like. You could add half your office if you wanted to. There's no limit. So once you're done adding all the agents, you can click back on the Teams tab at the top, and you'll see now we have My Team with 91 agents. These are the total leads that that team has received. And we have the new L5M team with 2 agents that we just created. So now once again, we're going to go back to the Forwarding tab over here. And we're going to go ahead and click on the zip code rule. We're going to click on New. And it's going to ask you which zip code you want to set it up for. So again, you can see here we did L5M. So if you start typing in the first 3 digits, you'll see that it comes up in green underneath, and you can click on it. Once you click on it, it will appear in a little gray box underneath. If you make a mistake, you can just click on this X here to remove it. Okay? But I actually did want L5M, so I'm going to put it back on for a second. Click on it, and there it is. Now it's asking you what team does this rule apply to. So again, it's actually as a default on L5M, but if you were to do a drop down, you could pick My Team, which wouldn't make a lot of sense because now it's going to go to every single agent in your office. But for the purposes of this particular example, we're going to pick L5 team. Now it's important to note, if you wanted to only send it to one specific agent, there is also the ability to assign the FSA to one agent alone. So if it's just one person, you don't have to create a team. But for this example, let's choose L5M team. And then you can choose if you want there to be a waiting period. So do you want some leeway in between the time the lead comes in and the time that it gets actually sent out to the L5M team? So most will leave it on send immediately, but you could select a waiting period if you wanted to. And then we're going to click on save. So now what will happen is when a lead comes in, the first thing that the system asks itself is it a listing agent rule? And if it is, it will go to the listing agent first. If it's not a listing agent rule, then the system will immediately ask itself, is this a lead that's coming in from L5M? And if it is, it's only going to go to the people in the L5M team first. Now, if within 1 hour or whatever time frame you have set up in your My Team broadcast rule, they do not claim it, it will then be rebroadcast to everybody else. If it's a lead that is not in L5M, it will go immediately to broadcast based on the parameters that you've set up. So all it's going to do is make sure that leads that are coming in from this particular FSA go to the agents that are requesting leads from that FSA. And once again, if you're looking for additional help on figuring out what agents have chosen what FSAs, you can do so through the control panel, which is accessed through Launchpad. So I hope you found this helpful. And once again, you can set up multiple zip code rules. So you could set up a different rule for each of the FSAs in your area, and you would just, in order to do that, you would just keep on clicking the new button and adding new rules, and then you'll be able to see them all.